Shalom, shalom. It's Tehila from the Kafar with our biweekly Hebrew verbs lesson. And this week we are going to use the verb to drink, lishtot, to talk about how to conjugate vow-tov verbs in the past tense. Before we get started, I just want to remind you about the Hebrew at the Kafar Facebook group. You can search it and you'll find us easily. So if you're interested in learning Hebrew or teaching Hebrew, then you should definitely come join us. All right, so in the last lesson, we learned how to conjugate Paal verbs that have two-letter roots. So when you get rid of the lamed and either the vav or the yod, you're left with just two letters. All right, and we use the verb lashir, which means to sing, as our example verb. Your first exercise verb was larutz, which is to run. Get rid of the lamed and the vav, that gives you ratz, and we know that the shoresh is also the same as hu. So hu ratz, he ran. Okay, ratzti, I ran. Ratzta, you masculine ran. Ratzt, you feminine ran. Ratznu, we ran. Ratztem, you all ran, masculine or mixed group. Ratzten, you all ran, feminine. And then he is ratza, she ran, and ratzu, they ran. The next verb was lariv, which is to argue or to fight. Get rid of the lamed and the yod. We're left with rav, which is also hu. So hu rav, he argued or he fought. Ravti, I fought. Ravta, you fought, male. Ravt, you fought, feminine. Ravnu, we fought. Ravtem, y'all fought. Ravten, y'all fought, feminine. And then he rava and him ravu. And the last verb was lagur, which is to live, like to live somewhere. Get rid of the lamed and the vav, that gives us gar. So hugar, he lived. Garti, I lived. Garta, you lived, masculine. Gart, you lived, feminine. Garnu, we lived. Gartem, you all lived, masculine. Garten, you all lived, feminine. And then he gara, she lived. Him garu, they lived. All right? So now we are going to talk about how we conjugate vow-tov verbs in the past tense. So as you remember, vow-tov verbs are verbs where the infinitive ends in a vow-tov. So to find the shoresh, we first get rid of the lamed because that's always the first step, and then we convert the vow-tov into a hey. So in this case, we get shata from lishtot, meaning again to drink. Now you'll see here that only for hu do we use all three letters of the shoresh, the shin, the taf, and the hey. For every other pronoun, we're dropping that final hey. Okay, so it falls out. You can look at it as like, since it was never really part of the infinitive to begin with, we're not going to use it for any other pronoun. So we only use those three letters of the shoresh for hu. For all of the other pronouns, we're only using the first two letters. We're not going to use that final hey. All right, so that's one change. We're just going to use the shin and the taf in this case. But whatever vav-tav verb you have, not whatever, because I want to always make room for exceptions, but generally, whatever vav-tav verb you have, you're going to use the first two letters of your shoresh for all the rest of the pronouns. The other change that we're going to make is in our sound pattern. Instead of our sound pattern being ah, the way it's been with our paal verbs, okay, or just like it's been with the kal verbs, it's going to become I. So instead of like achalti, I ate, karanu, we read, it's going to be I. Okay, so ani, aiti instead of aati. Ata, aita instead of aata. At, ait. Anachnu, ainu. All right, so the second vowel pattern, or the second vowel sound rather, is changing. Instead of it becomes ai. And of course, this will make a little bit more sense when we actually do it in the next step using the verb. For atem and aten, there's another small change. Instead of it being aitem or aiten, it's becoming item and item, because instead of the we're using a shva. Okay, so item, and again, I mean, I know these are weird sounds, but once we put in the letters, it'll make more sense. And iten. All right, so that second, for atem and aten, that initial sound is dropping out entirely. So we don't have any as in atem and aten. So for hu, is going to stay the same. For he, we've been doing okay, two letters in front, two letters in back, separated by a shva. Here it's going to be ta. Okay, so we're adding a tav there. Instead of just the hey at the end to make it a, it's going to be a ta. And then hem and hen is going to stay the same. That's just u. All right, so now let's do it using the verb. So we have lishtot, which is to drink. Get rid of the lamed. Vav-tav becomes a hey. That gives us the shoresh of shata. All right, so we know that for the first few pronouns, it's going to be a-e. So ani shatiti instead of shatati. Okay, shatati, 1000% wrong. Don't ever say it. Ani shatiti. Ata shatita. At shatit. Anachnu shatinu. Okay, so instead of a, we're doing a-e. Ani shatiti, ata shatita, at shatit, anachnu shatinu. Now for atem and aten, instead of it being a, we're going to have the shva sound. So atem shatitem, okay, instead of shatitem, atem shatitem, and aten shatiten. Now who is going to be the shoresh exactly how it is. Hu shata, that doesn't change. He shatta. Okay, the first two letters, again, we're using the first two letters of the shoresh for every pronoun except for hu shata. So he shat ta. The only reason why we're pronouncing the taf sound twice is because whenever you have a letter that's doubled and separated by a shva, you're going to say it twice. For instance, hallelujah, right? We say hallelujah because we have a double lamed. One has a shva and the other doesn't. So hallelujah, shatta. So he shatta, and him shatu. That one is just normal. Okay, shatiti, shatita, shatit, shatinu, shatitem, shatiten, hu shata, he shatita, him shatu, and hen shatu. And now let's look at a regular verb and a vav-tov verb side by side. So we have ani achalti, regular a. Ani shatiti, ai. Ata achalta, a. Ata shatita, ai. At achalt, a. At shatit, ai. He achla, okay, we have an a. He shatita, okay, so one is a, the other is ata. Anachnu achalnu, a. Anachnu shatinu, ai. Atem achaltem, a. Atem shatitem, so we don't have an a at all. Aten achalten, regular a. Aten shatiten, no a for the vav-tav verbs. And then hem hen achlu and hem hen shatu. So that one's pretty normal. All right, so I know this one is a little trickier than the others, but of course I'm going to give you some exercises so you can practice. And so use what you learned today to conjugate these verbs in the past tense. Your first verb is lirtzot, and it means to want. Then you have liknot, which is to buy, and livnot, which is to build. All right, so you are going to remember that when you change the vav-tav into a hey, you're only going to use the first two letters of the shoresh for every pronoun except for hu. For hu, you just leave the shoresh exactly as it is. And in our next video, we're going to do a review of all of the past tense patterns that we've learned so far. So that wraps it up for today. Toda ala tzfiya. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, you can leave them in the comments below and I will get back to you. So I'll see you next time for our follow-up vocabulary lesson. Shalom.